Yeah, so they'll give us a time they want to be steaming, and then we have everything ready by then.
I was on the University of Washington boat with an ROV once, and we were pushing it at the end of the leg, trying to get a lot done. And the captain came into the control room and said, "We got to go."
Yeah.
And the chief scientist asked the captain, "Well, what are the prevailing winds?" And the captain said, "No, we're going right now. You got to come off bottom."
Yeah, yeah.
Good try.
That's happened before. We were at the threshold, and
yeah,
when the bridge calls, and it's the captain on the other end.
Yeah.
Said you got to come up now.
Yeah, stuff can change
sorry,
fast
you're
out
breaking up. I can't.
And you just inform the van. There's no question.
Yeah.
It's very.
So Hercules is about 15 or so meters below the, above the ocean floor. And question about whether we'll be checking out all those locations. The answer to that is definitely not. Quite a few of them, if not all, we've come to a pretty clear consensus that most of them are probably rocks.
And one big clue is we know there's one plane down here.
Yep.
And we saw some promising targets at first, but then we would see 3 or 4 or 5 more things that look just like that first target.
Yeah.
So we know that's.
We were a bit more trigger happy when it came to the beginning, just because
we didn't know.
Didn't know. Yeah. You got to have that learning curve.
And you didn't want it to go by and not mark it.
I think that right now we're planning on looking at 2 targets close up.
In the 30s?
In the 30s, yep.
Yeah, it'll be, I think the plan of attack is to go view with Argus first before we make any decisions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's a time saver.
Yeah, and I think it's going to take time, just given the way that given our little tiny 20-meter wide viewing angle, we might not be able to do too much of a flyby.
Might have to drop right on top of it.
Yeah, pretty much, and then just wait there with the ship and then hone in. Is that the sound of rain?
Yeah, rain.
Yeah, it's raining hard.
Wow. Folks, we can just hear rain descending over the outside of the van.
Whew. I love being at sea with the rain and the clouds.
Can you see that in cam aft?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Felt like the van got colder too.
Yep.
Next watch is not going to want to come here.
We're not going to.
No.
False. This winch carrier is going to leave, rain or shine.
I am not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the winds are now coming from 240. So it completely switched around. Coming from the northwest now.
We gotta find something dark. Oh, there we go. We'll use the UCTD.
Is counterclockwise.
There we go. So that's a better idea of the amount of rain out there right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's like.
I was gonna put my water bottle out there.
That's like right front out of the notebook.
Oh, stop getting all
You're a bird,
savvy.
I'm a bird.
Still isn't over.
There's a really great meme.
Rennie, you need to play Ryan Gosling.
About that. From the Notebook, where it's like.
Said no one.
They're arguing, like, he's like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "I don't know." And it's like when your girlfriend, or when you guys are arguing about over what to eat for dinner, and it's like this into like passionate, like, "I don't know." So great.
So, for the viewer wondering, the Argus cam is the second one. It's the only one that you're seeing. Hercules is not in the water. You will not see Hercules' camera. We have not done a dive with Hercules this entire leg so far. That might change, but entirely depends on what we find and the science team's decision. We don't know of any other wrecks in the area. However, that doesn't mean that other type of wreckage may not exist. But you know, it is over 3,000 meters deep. It is a significantly deep area, and we just don't know. We don't know what's down there. We're unaware of any other wrecks that we should be on the lookout for other than the Simone Clipper. However, if you know something we don't, feel free to let us know.
Deck over on this side.
Can that camera look straight down too?
Yeah. I was gonna see if I can see that puddle in the inside of the workboat, but it looks like I'm gonna be blocked by the railing. Yeah, down below is a little trickier to get to, but let me see what I can do. So we'll bring it back to that.
80% chance of rain. See if I get radar. Another great invention from aviation world.
Yeah.
The radar.
Is it clearing up already?
No.
Look at that port cam view. It's just like
It's a
yeah,
wall.
it doesn't really tell you much.
which way is the port cam facing, Ed?
I haven't looked at it yet. Hold on just a sec.
Yeah,
Let's put that back. Ports, hard to tell. Looks like it's looking forward.
That's a lot of rain. Question just came in about, do we ever get seasick? And the answer to that is yes. Depends on the person. Some people are more resistant to others. Some people do pretty well until the waves get a little rough. But we have Dramamine, so if anybody starts feeling a little queasy, they can go ahead and take some. And
ginger.
Or ginger.
I love ginger.
Be right as rain.
Me too, Ed.
I went to associate from Senegal, and he had a naming ceremony for his son, and he made some ginger lemonade. It was super spicy and delicious. Yeah.
Before I left, I wanted to stock up on ginger, and the only one that the store I was at had was this very nice, expensive Fijian ginger.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and I'm like, I was hesitant because I'm like, essentially, I'm now taking this back to Fiji.
Oh, right.
Go back to where you came from, ginger.
Yeah.
They have ginger tablets, you know?
Yeah, I like the taste of it enough that I just like to eat it. Although I wish there was, maybe I'll just buy a root and take pieces of that, because the crystallized can sometimes just be like all sugar.
Yeah.
I love pickled ginger.
Oh,
Sushi pickled ginger.
There's a
Oh,
hard
yes.
target in Mezzo.
So good.
Pulling it up.
It's a big one.
Plane.
It'll be on the port side scan shortly.
Oh, that's a nice shape.
That is a big one. Come on, seaplane.
It's got a sort of nice rounded profile. But that's because each of these rings is 10.
It'll say in the
meters.
top left.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Don't jinx it, Peyton. Don't jinx it. This could be it.
Does seem kind of long.
Should start to see an inside scan any second.
I think I'm seeing rocks.
Almost close enough to see in the camera, but it'll be just out of it.
Just a ridge on the left.
Those contour lines are going down?
Up.
Up?
Up. We're going
Up in the
shallower.
southern direction, yeah.
We are moving slightly closer to it.
And those are 5-meter contours?
These
10
are the
meter.
white ones. They're 5 meter
Yeah.
contours.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are looking at a different screen than I am.
They're looking at the meso.
Yeah, we were looking at the bathymetric contour. Full scan here. Sure is tall.
Yeah.
Or, well, it's actually, we're just like right next to it, and it's tall.
I think, yeah, it looks very tall.
Is that just all shadow
Terrain.
on the left side, on the port?
Yes.
It's interesting that we've seen maybe not a bunch, but at least a few of these really tall ones, but we have not had to go over anything really tall.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Dr. Megan.
You're going to be pulling up
Yep.
How likely do you think it would be that
soon.
the Simone Clipper would get pushed up against another rock feature?
Oh, I mean, if something falls through the water column, it's sort of indiscriminate where it goes. So if it fell and it just so happened to be a rock underneath it, then it would bounce off the, well, sorry, bounce is the wrong word. It would sort of slide off the side of the rock and keep on going down. So being stuck in a rock crevice or...
You were kind of meaning it would drift on the bottom up until it
Yeah.
got to a stopping point, right, Peyton?
Yeah.
What do
it
you
seem
mean, drift?
like, would it move across the seabed at all, or would it
No.
pretty much
Pretty big
reset?
sonar
it would be
target on the right, too.
absolutely stopped. When it hits the seafloor, it's going to stop.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
keep in mind, it's because, I mean, any sort of structure, well, and it depends. So, okay, if there was like a, you know, a 10-knot current down on the seafloor, then yeah, it may push it a little bit, probably not still, but if the engines were attached to this wing
What's
structure,
that?
they're extremely heavy.
Something jelly in the water column.
Is jelly?
Lonnie, how many tons is an engine? Don't know. Some odd ton engine, and there are 4 of them attached to a wing structure. It's not going to go anywhere.
Right. Okay.
There's your wall, Summer.
Yeah.
Remember, weren't we just saying? that
That's
we-
how. I'm not gonna have to go over
Oh,
anything.
sorry.
You jinxed us.
I totally jinxed that. Yeah, that's really interesting feature.
It's pretty big.
I'm guessing we got on this right after, we got on shift right after they'd passed this.
No.
Because I don't remember having to descend so much.
Well, you know what? It's really interesting how we haven't seen the Samoan Clipper yet. So,
Are you baiting it?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it works for rock walls,
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
right.
Gigantic
yeah.
rock
Same
walls.
psychology.
then
Sure, Peyton's going to be looking up Maslow's hierarchy of needs when he's done with this watch.
See, now that you said it, I have to.
Have you seen the modern one? People
No.
have gone back and added a new base to it under food that says Wi-Fi.
Here, I'll look it up right now.
So if the plane is 24,000 pounds fully equipped but empty, a lot of that weight has to be in the engines.
It's very significant rock.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going upslope, so it'll be a lot of this.
I think we're just going to rely on a visual and observation and not sample it.
I have not gotten a request yet for sampling. Anyone?
Sampling of the rock.
I would probably no longer come out to see an anomalous, though.
Going on in style. You can just blame it on Bobby.
Yeah.
He couldn't let you steer.
We'd lose Bobby.
Lower him close enough to the bottom so he can take a little scoop.
Just reach out, roll his window down.
Is there an underwater geology specialist?
Sure, there must be.
On board?
No, I mean in general.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you... I mean, I would think the oil drilling companies and everything
Oh,
all have
yeah.
these guys.
Oh, so Peyton, answer me this. So if you're looking at sea creatures in saltwater, you're a marine biologist. Is it the same for
Yes.
freshwater?
That's a good question. Because aquatic and fishery sciences, the major I'm in, is supposed to be freshwater and saltwater, and marine biology is technically supposed to be more saltwater. So I guess it would be
But marine
fishery
applies to both
sciences?
fresh and salt water.
okay. All right.
Marine
thank you, Lonnie.
environments are both.
If you're studying organisms in saltwater, you're either a marine biologist or George Costanza.
I'm not getting the Seinfeld
I didn't get the
No.
reference.
No?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
The
man.
Seinfeld episode
So
where he tells
good.
everybody he's a marine
Seinfeld.
biologist.
Oh, Seinfeld, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Oh,
I just remember the city planner.
one of the best.
Not an architect, I'm a city
So,
planner.
Peyton, the reason why I was asking was that there's a specific type
Oh,
of
hello there, Rock.
Yeah,
muscle
that came up.
that's on an aircraft in freshwater,
Somebody's down in the
creating
hold.
some
I think.
bubbles.
Yeah, Mike
And
is.
I tried to find out what it was, and people were saying, oh, well, why don't you just ask this marine biologist this, and everybody was coming back to me saying, we don't study freshwater. That's weird. And then I asked somebody who was supposedly studying this lake, and they were like, no, we don't study creatures. So I wouldn't, where would you go to try and find information on freshwater mussels?
I mean, definitely you could reach out to like School of Aquatic and Fishery Sciences at UW. Like that's one resource I would know. But yeah, I guess freshwater biologists, ecologists maybe.
I'm gonna look you up when we get back, and
Yeah,
can you find me somebody?
I can certainly try.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Reach out to people in the Great Lakes area. There's lots of mussel work out there.
State departments of
Zebra
ecology
mussels.
too, which are all underfunded and probably have one biologist.
Right. Don't want to answer weird email queries.
You never know.
They might just be really excited to talk about it.
Listen, I'm excited to talk about it. I was trying to
Yeah.
find somebody else who was too.
What areas are these mussels living in?
Lake Washington.
Lake Washington.
The zebra mussels.
Oh, you
It
know
might
what?
be zebras, because zebras are, I believe
Invasive.
they're invasive in Washington.
They're invasive everywhere
Yeah.
in the U.S.
All right.
Are you doing a rally cap?
Yeah, it is time for a rally cap.
Dr. Megan Cooper says hi
Oh, hello,
and
puppy.
sends face licks to the whole team.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Thank you, Cooper. Thank you.
Watch
And-
change it video. Good
and
luck,
you
guys.
said that these mussels make
See ya.
bubbles?
Yeah, I'm trying to find find you the video that I have of it.
Huh.
But they...
More rocks coming. Hello, rock. Where are you, Samoan Clipper?
And those are mussels for sure? Okay. Because there's also some... Oh, I should get off SP.
So for those of you watching, we have gone from a smooth and relatively unremarkable bottom of the ocean to a rocky incline. And each one of these passes that we're doing takes about an entire shift, so it's about 4 hours. And we are, at this point, 80 hours or such into this dive.
A little bit more than that. We hit 80 hours on our watch this morning, so we're probably like 90.
Oh, wow. We are definitely into the stratosphere in terms of longest dives for Nautilus. Dr. Brennan, have you, I'm assuming you've been cleaning up some of the images. Have you found anything that you're interested in, or?
No, I think later this evening, once we get back up north, I'm going to have us drop Argus down and take a look at that 30 and 31 target.
Okay.
Just to have ground truth something.
Yeah.
But none of the other ones have really jumped out.
Do you have a thought or hope if 3031 were something, what they might be in terms of, in relation to the Samoan Clipper?
Well, if it were to be wreckage or debris from it, it would be small debris that may have floated off and sank elsewhere, because there's no other debris near it.
Okay. Would it be possible to look at that pattern to, if it were smaller debris, to see, oh, we should head this direction, or?
Well, with a debris trail, we would want to have more than one point, and
yeah.
I don't, so if it were, I don't think it would give us a direction, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
it would be nice to find something.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks. Well, this is Brian from the 12 to 4 watch signing off to Valeria.
So, Chris, what's the plan as far as you understand it?
So far, what was just passed to me is complete this line and go back up, but be open to do anything from cut short to add in that extra 50-meter gap line or whatever we want to do.
Yeah, so that's not the plan. We're going up slope now, right?
Yep.
We may as well cut short, because the next thing to do is, can you zoom out? We're going to go over and do the next south line.
Sure.
Have you even imported those yet? They're probably not
I can import them in after this.
but whatever the next one is, that looks like we haven't touched that area. We're going to do one to go over to the east, then go up, just kind of outside where we have targets, and then cut in to redo that 11 line. So import that as well. Remember that?
Roger that.
The new 11.
Yeah, that's the gap filler.
Right, the gap filler. So that's basically the plan. Is we're going to take a south line over, go up, go back over, and then that'll put us near 30 and 31 to look at with Argus.
Okay.
See my geometry there?
Yeah.
Cool. So if you could import those lines and figure out which kind of like the best route, that's the plan. And you can have if you want her to hold position, and like the ROV will kind of drift towards us while we while we kind of get set up for that.
Yeah.
So it's your call as to when you want to do that.
I can do that now because it would probably be better with where everything's placed to start now. Roger that. Bridge nav. Request we hold position. I will be importing new lines going more east to west, and we will be tracking along one of those in a moment.
All right, let's do maybe 36, because we probably got some of 37 in the turns. Or do you think that's even too close? Maybe 35? Any thoughts on where the turns were?
Yeah, so I think that should be good.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we'll do that one.
That'll give us about... Yeah, that'll give us good spacing.
Yeah, okay, let's
targets.
do that one next. And so, yeah, she can just, once we have Argus back under the boat, she can just track to the start of the line, whatever direction that is, and we'll collect data along the way.
Roger that. I think where Argus is right now, I'm just going to start moving that way. It should come right behind us.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
4 to 8 shift. We're very happy to be with you again.
Sorry, you're very quiet again.
Oh my God, I am a very shy person. I was just saying welcome everyone. This is the shift 4 to 8. We're very happy to be with you.
4 to 8.
Bridge now.
48.
Request we track a line bearing 035 at 1 knot. Change heading as needed.
Wendy, you heard the plan and you're cool with that?
We were doing some handover, so I don't know that I got the whole plan.
So we're, if you see on HiPAC, there's a start of a new line going east.
Yeah.
So we're just going to start moving the ship that direction, and Argus will kind of follow us. So
okay.
You're probably up most of the slope. So
Yeah.
it's going back down, so you're probably fine, but just wanted you to be aware that we're changing direction.
All right, thanks. Yeah,
Yep.
I'll keep an eye.
Yeah, we're going to...
It should be a downhill. It's just a matter of all the swinging. And
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to kind of meet Argus halfway, change ship heading a little bit, and then we'll be headed 080 once we get on the line.
And what's the number of the new line we're heading towards?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
36.
What? Okay, and what line are we on right now?
27.
27. Thank you.
Oh, I'm going to change the file over to 27 turn.
Man, that hand just startled me again.
Pretty creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw them working on it in the ROV shop. I was like, what in the world is this for? Now I understand.
Is that a crease or is it a ring on the finger?
I think it's a
Because it's
crease.
appropriately placed crease.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a married hand.
I think they just hot glued some paper to some cardboard.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Thanks for joining us on the search for the Samoan Clipper. We're still scanning the area. We extended the original grid. We have not been diving the site yet with Hercules, so you haven't missed that part. So cold here. But now I have a poncho. So now I look like an official grandma.
Are you wearing a poncho?
Yeah, I wrote
That's
a
awesome.
poncho.
Nice.
It's not raining in here.
It's not a rain
Not
poncho.
that kind of poncho.
Wait, what?
It's not a rain poncho.
What other types of ponchos are there?
Like
I can
just
show you.
ponchos?
I'm gonna go there and
like
show you.
fabric.
I've never heard of ponchos made of fabric.
Really?
I've only heard of like the plastic ones for rain, yeah. Oh, I guess that's why it's called a rain poncho. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Oh. I really didn't, yeah, I did, okay, that's cool. No, I didn't know that. Cool. So that really doesn't help you that it's raining outside.
Yeah, just it gets soggy.
I wasn't like trying to be a facetious or anything. I really didn't know that.
Yeah.
We are still at 58 targets. The other two watches did not identify any.
Yeah, thank you, Becca. Can you see my screen? No.
No?
Hmm.
Why?
Did someone ask that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
You're good. You're good at this.
She just knew it was
She
coming.
can see through
You
the
knew,
wall.
exactly.
But we're changing lines, so
Yeah, let's see.
we'll see.
One of the reasons that we've been logging fewer targets is not because there's less around. It's that we're learning what the seabed looks like here, which is quite rocky. And so stuff that we logged that were rocks and we weren't quite sure yet, we've seen a lot more of now. So it's more that we're just more confident in what we're seeing than it's that there's a lack of, or that the landscape's changed at all.
Yeah, it's true.
It takes a little while to get used to watching this stuff come in live and having about 30, it's like 56 seconds for the target to get off the screen, so you have to decide quickly if you want to mark it or not. So early on we were like, okay, just mark it.
Okay. It is raining in here, and it is directly over me.
Cool, then I picked the right spot.
So we have a leak. Remember we had someone suggesting that for the...
That was, yeah, so that was Bobby, I'm pretty sure, the person who knew a lot about Nautilus, who was then later confirmed to me. It goes, they're pretty sure it goes by Bobby Argus Jr. Yep.
I don't know who that is either.
No, like Bobby Argus, like the hand, and
I
like that
see.
whole thing. Apparently they go by Bobby Argus Jr. And
So it is someone who's been on board.
no.
No, he said he had never been on board.
Oh, I see. So we just refer to him as that.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Perhaps somebody who should be out on the boat.
Yeah, right.
Or very much
Sounds
like to be out
like
on
it.
the vessel.
If you want to come out and fix this leak over me, that'd be great.
Is it from that hatch?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I guess emergency escape hatches are important to have all the same.
Welcome to the people in Finland. You actually are the only Europeans right now following us. That's great.
It's early in the morning there.
Yeah, very early. We have people from Japan, from American Samoa, which is pretty cool, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Trinidad and Tobago. That's so nice. And of course, people from the US, all over the US, especially the west side. Oh no, the east side.
Welcome again to our viewers from American Samoa. Let us know what village you're in and whether you've seen our ship offshore.
Yeah, that would be nice. Can you see us? People from American Samoa, can you see the Nautilus from where you are?
Does that rain again?
Sounds like it. Maybe we're driving back into it.
Maybe.
Raining.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, Chris is going to get wetter.
Oh.
It's like my roof. I had a leak in the laundry room from when water would pool on the flat roof that's next to the slanted roof. And then when I got back from the trip in May, there was a big wet spot on my bed because the light fixture over my bed had started leaking. So that now I need to actually replace the roof and not deal with it.
Yeah.
Looks almost like it's dripping in by the winch.
Yeah.
Could just be the wet wire though.
Alright, this is... I wasn't planning on taking a shower until after watch.
I have a slightly waterproof jacket.
No, it's like a slow drip.
Okay.
Where's it hitting you?
Well, I'm leaning back, so right in the chest.
Well, maybe you could like pull your chair forward?
If I lean forward, it'll come down my back.
Could you shift to the side?
Do you have a piece of duct tape or something?
That would make sense, but it's easier to just complain about it than to try to fix it.
Yeah, it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
You can keep count of how many drips you get.
4 drips.
Oh, that's not that many. Suck up and deal.
They're big drips.
They're big drips.
And they're just evenly spaced enough that you forget about it for a second and get it right back.
That's funny.
We can get you a cup to hold.
Yeah,
Right in front of you. Catch
like
them all.
I've been drinking that water for a while and it keeps filling up. Fill my mug here.
I really would not drink any water that splashes in there, though.
No.
Off of the shipping container? Really?
Do you want an umbrella, or is that bad luck?
That would be absolutely amazing if you had an umbrella. But I think if it's considered bad luck to open an umbrella indoors on land, it probably is also on a ship.
I feel like if you had an umbrella, that would be severe overpacking.
Welcome, Halifax. I might have taken you as part of the U.S., but you're totally right. Now that I see it with more detail.
Oh. That's their problem?
From what we can tell.
See what complaining does for me? Gets the lead navigator to help.
That's right.
I think he's more worried about the computers getting wet than you.
Don't say that.
Oh, that's absolutely true, though.
That's not true.
You dry, computers don't. Well, they do dry, but you're not damaged forever.
What would your other, what would the other cadets say if they knew you were complaining about 4 drops of water?
Other cadets, how about any other member of the Coast Guard if I was actually complaining about getting dripped on?
I got slightly wet.
Thanks for following us from Finland. Wow, you've been watching us for a while. Go take a nap. Enjoy your nap. And yeah, thanks for joining us.
But yeah, what we consider, what we call a good Coast Guard day is what most people consider really horrible weather. And so it'll just be pouring out sideways rain, howling wind. We'll be like, oh, look, it's a great Coast Guard day.
Speaking of wind, have you been monitoring our wind?
Yeah, we actually just dropped about 5 knots. So it's changing direction. It's coming around from northeast to blowing towards the north.
So we have to get over 30 knots?
Nope, not even close.
Wendy, we have a question that you might be able to answer. Can we control the stabilizer fin on Argus from here?
No, that is just bolted on. It's just a fixed fin.
Yeah, we kind of just want it to stay straight.
We control the winch and the thrusters. And then like cameras and things like that.
Okay, cool. So how many hours have we had Argus down there?
It's probably like
Approaching
78.
90.
Oh,
What?
no.
Didn't we hit 80?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We
You're right.
hit-
I meant like.
we hit
And it's
80
been
in
8
the
hours.
middle.
You're right. No, it probably is about 90 hours.
Wow,
So
that's a lot.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think we're coming up on 90 in about 3 minutes.
So are we gonna stick with pink?
I don't know. Do you
It
guys want to
stayed
change?
all day.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I think they liked it. We
Yeah,
can
I was talking to
change-
Miles about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, I just hated the orange." I was like, "Oh, come on, that was my color."
Yeah, we can change theme if you guys want.
No, pink was fine.
Okay.
We like pink.
Oh. I picked pink because I thought it would annoy everybody.
I like
Since-
it.
since-
And we
since
ended up
nobody else-
liking
Everybody
it.
happy.
Since no one else wanted to change it, I think we should change it.
You're the boss.
No, it's fine.
Well, it's too late.
Ooh, how about bright blue? Like really?
Well, that's not going to
It's
show up.
got to show up on the
The
background.
track.
No, the ship.
Mm,
But that
I don't know
probably
about the
won't show
ship.
up.
The track would show up better on blue. If I did.
how about the top left color?
That like corally
Yeah,
color.
let's go with coral.
this one?
Yeah. There's like kind of orange and kind of pink.
And we have a viewer
That's
from Sri Lanka. That's so cool. Welcome on board with us. So what we're expecting to see in the sonar. Mike, you want to share what we're expecting to see if we find something related to the ship?
Yeah, so, right now you're looking at fairly flat seabed. That's why it's kind of featureless. And when you have seen those sort of yellow bright spots that come through every now and then or often, that's volcanic rock because we're on the side of American Samoa, which is a volcanic island. So we've seen some lava flows in the Argus camera and quite a few rocks that range from boulder size to small cobble. And we're looking for something that looks different than that. We're looking for something with right angles, straight edges, round pieces that look like cylindrical poles that were like holding wings together, things that look man-made. We don't know the condition of the Samoan Clipper. We know that there was an explosion near the water surface before it sank, and that's what sank it, which we believe was near the cockpit because of the debris that was recovered on the surface afterwards. But we don't know what the condition of the wreck is. So we don't really know what size objects we're looking for, but we know that things are going to look different than the rock. They're going to look more man-made and straight edges, that sort of thing.
Thank you.
The coral looked kind of orangey still.
Yeah.
So I changed the track to blue. Go Bears.
Oh. Go Gauchos.
Oh, is that their colors too?
Yeah.
Oh,
we have
perfect.
yellow
That's
and blue.
Oh, yellow and blue. Yeah, so
blue-
it's
blue
kind of
and
like
yellow.
in the middle.
Yeah.
You can change it to yellow if you want.
Well, Coast Guard is orange and blue.
Okay.
So
keep
that's
it
why I
blue.
said go Bears.
My alma mater is orange and blue.
Perfect.
Go Pats. go.
Crowd pleaser. Valera, you can just pretend it's yellow.
That's just Go Gauchos.
What is Gauchos?
I don't know. That's a very interesting mascot. So a gaucho is the traditional kind of like cowboy from Argentina, actually.
Okay.
And I have no idea why they chose that as the mascot for UCSB. But yep.
I just remember the Alicia, our data logger from intern from last cruise, was from UCSB.
Oh, really?
And she had a shirt that said "Go Gauchos" on it, and I kept asking, I'm like, what in the world is that? And she would never explain it to me.
And what sport is that for? Oh, I guess it's all sports for that school, right?
For the whole school,
right.
This is not my mouse.
Well, my high school on Cape Cod, Harwich High School, was the Rough Riders, like the cavalry group. We were in a small town in Massachusetts, so I'm not really sure how that connected.
Yeah, right.
But
Well, they had to pick something.
yeah, exactly. I think that kind of what it comes down to.
My high school mascot changed like 3 or 4 times while I was in high school. It's bad.
So my town was the Hillers.
The what?
The Hillers.
The Hillers.
Yep.
What's that even mean? The hills have eyes?
It's like, I guess we're like have a hills in our town. It's pretty hilly.
What's the mascot though?
The hill. Well, we don't have like a.
Is it just
like
a mountain?
Like, what do they dress up as or draw
There's
as?
nobody that dresses up.
Oh.
Yeah.
That you saw, they might have been hiding under the ground.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we were the O's for a while because we were Austining O's. So we just looked like we had big zeros on our shirts. We had it said like "Go O," but that was our mascot. And then we became the Pride. I think it was supposed to be a pride of lions, but yeah, those were the last 2. Before that, we were the Indians, and then we were the Riverhawks. But when they found out that was a flower, they thought it was lame.
You guys can't decide, can you?
No.
Identity crisis.
Does that cause identity crisis among the students?
I don't know, not really.
So your school changed their name to the Indians in
so we
the
were
21st century?
No, we were the Austining Indians, and then they were not allowed to have that anymore or something. So they changed it to the Riverhawks. Then they decided that was like a flower and thought it was lame, so we became the O's.
They thought that was better?
That was awesome.
Riverhawk sounded cooler.
That's what I thought. And then, I don't know, at some point they switched over to the Pride.
If you had your own university, what would be the mascot?
Obviously the Sharks.
That's
the Sharks.
So
Okay, yeah.
my high school that was Harwich High School, and then between sophomore and junior year, we regionalized with Chatham to get more people and increase class size and opportunities for students and stuff like that. So we regionalized to Monomoy Regional School District and became the Sharks.
There you go.
Monomoy Island being south of Chatham,
Yeah.
and Chatham having all the great white sharks.
Yeah, well, they could have called them the Great Whites, been more specific, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, what about like pelagic sea cucumbers? That'd be a great mascot.
The cukes.
I just didn't know back then, you know?
But they could abbreviate it like C-Cukes. The letter C, Cukes.
That would have been good.
There's so much good footage you can take the crest from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just a young boy then. I didn't know about the wonderful world of pelagic sea cucumbers.
Of course.
That would be, so there's a minor league baseball team in Jacksonville that used to be the Jacksonville Suns, and they changed it to the Jacksonville Rock Shrimp. Not really sure why.
Interesting.
No, I'm sorry, Jumbo Shrimp.
Jumbo.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah,
The mascot is like a muscly shrimp doing this. It's like, oh my god.
Doing what?
Like,
I can't see.
Flexing his muscles.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh, okay.
We have a question about the debris. Would the debris will also be yellow? And I guess it depends on the material the debris is.
Yeah, but so it would be metal, so it's going to be a harder reflection, so it'll be the yellow. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I was thinking like in real life.
Like the color.
I think
like I don't think the plane was colored yellow. Yeah, no. The plane was made of sulfur.
On the side scan. Got it.
Yep.
So it's going to take us about an hour to get to the line?
Well, that's down calculated at 0.4. We slowed down for a second here. So it'll probably be a little less.
Cool.
But I think probably our dinner relief will be getting us onto the line.
Again for a minute.
Beyond mollusks.
She could come around in the heading. The wind should be helping
yeah.
us.
Yeah, I think,
Oh.
yeah, I can ask if we can come around. We're just maintaining heading works well, just with Argus so far behind us, but we're about caught up.
Caught up.
Pretty
so
close, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as long as I don't decide to like go the weird way around.
Oh yeah, no, I think we'd probably be turning to port.
I would hope you'd turn to port.
Yeah. No, we, someone was telling me they were on a ship. Oh, it was my friend, one of my friends in the Navy, and they had a bunch of guys, like Army, I think, with like landing craft, and they were driving like, 3, 4, 5 degrees, and someone said, oh, wanted to turn to like 330 or something, and they started coming to starboard and turned all the way around.
That's like if I left my cabin, went downstairs through the ROV hangar, up the stairs just to get to the mess.
Yeah, exactly. Bridge now. Request to know if it would be possible to change bearing facing somewhere between 025 and 045.
So I have a question about the resolution of the sonar and what would be the smallest thing that we could see with it.
So we have 2 different frequencies of sonar, and they give us different resolutions. So we have a 300 and a 600 kilohertz frequency sonar, and they're dual, so they ping at the same time. I mean, the smallest object that you can see, it kind of depends. Like with these sonars, I mean, you can see like small boats, like patrol boats or tugboats, that sort of thing. They resolve pretty well. Debris will resolve, but being able to identify it from just the sonar is pretty difficult. But I mean, you'll pick it up. We've been seeing all these little rocks, but that's because they're very reflective. It kind of depends on what it is that you're seeing.
And would the resolution be the same for height and width? Say if our resolution is 1 feet, the person asks, would we be able to see a 1 foot tall thing and 1 foot wide thing the same way?
Not really. So, I mean, side scan is a 2-dimensional sonar. It's not bathymetry like multi-beam is. You'll be able to see a shadow cast by something, but that's also dependent on the proximity to the sonar. So like if it's nearby, you'll see it better than if it's further out in the field. So it doesn't really work quite like that.
It's great.
Thankfully, what we're looking for is a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.